Hello. I'm a person, and I don't have autism. How about that? It's just an act. But this is not an act. I did drop something. This. It looks backwards. It's the Book of Mormon. Looks backwards on the screen, but it's not. Trust me. It's another testament of Jesus Christ. And for all of you who don't know, I'm a Mormon. And as a Mormon, or that's just a name the society has given us, our church, it's actually the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I believe that this Book of Mormon is the most correct book on the earth. It is so correct. Oh yes. So correct. And because it's so correct, there are people that say, I don't think so. Because it's just so correct. People are so wrong. You see, people are wrong, and this book is so correct that they're not going to agree with it. And that's why. And right now I'm responding to someone who says, I don't agree with it. So this person is wrong. Nope, they're wrong. And this is how I know they're wrong. Because they have a variety of things that supposedly prove, it only proves to those who disagree with the Book of Mormon and say it's false. But she says the Book of Mormon has so many impossibilities and could not be real. And it's just so far from the truth. This video is not designed to convince anyone that the Book of Mormon is true. I ran out of ideas, so I'm going to act autistic in this video. It's likely not even going to be a good video response. I'm just going to act stupid. Okay, the first thing that the person talked to, and by the way, the person I'm responding to is me, Jessie. Jessie said, and then after she said that, she said, the language Reformed Egyptian makes no sense. Jews don't speak that language. Well, I don't speak French as my first language, but I'm learning how to speak it, and I'm not fluent in it, but I'm learning how to speak it, and I can write a few words in it, and I have a dad that can speak German, Italian, French, Spanish, and he can also speak English, and he can write in all those languages too. So the point of this is just to say that Lehi was stupid, and he couldn't afford to do that. But remember, Lehi was a rich dude, and for all those who don't know the story of the Book of Mormon, here is the Book of Mormon. The beginning of the Book of Mormon in a nutshell. This guy says, nope, you're wrong. And then everyone says, we want to kill you. Because we're not wrong. And then after that, the guy said, nope, you're wrong. And then he decided to leave because he knew he was right. But his sons did not want to leave because they were amongst people that said, nope, you're wrong. But he had one son that was on his side and decided to say, let's go back to Jerusalem and tell those people that they're idiots. And they went back, and people actually decided to kill them. But then they escaped because a giant rock saved them. And after the giant rock saved them, an angel appeared, and the brothers stopped being abusive. And then after that, the one righteous brother, whose name is Nephi, I'm messing this all up, but his name is Nephi, he goes back and he sees a guy passed out, and he says, ooh, nice thing. And he sees a steel sword, he pulls it out, and he's go, amazing sword. I gotta write down high detail what it looks like, because it's so cool, and it's made out of steel, and steel is so rare, and yeah. And then he sees the sword, and he's like, really cool. I've never killed someone before, so he decides to kill the guy on the ground. He's actually commanded by God to do that, and he's actually arguing with God about whether he should do it, but eventually he says, nope, God's right, I don't want to argue with him. Cuts off his head, puts on his clothes to disguise the person, and then he goes and takes the records of Moses, because Moses is such a cool person. And then after that, the person who gave him the stuff figures out that he cut off the head of his other master, and then Nephi tackles him to the ground, and the guy decides, I don't want to die, so he goes with them. And then after he goes with them, they invite more people to go, and those people do go, but they actually don't want to go, and they beat the crap out of Nephi. And then Nephi says, I'm muscle man, and then they decide to go with him because they're all scared of him. The end. That's not actually how it worked. I messed up in so many parts. But that's the basics of the Book of Mormon. And explained in an autistic, improvised way. So what she's trying to say is that this really smart dude and rich dude named Lehi, who's old, and when you're old, you're wise, and old people are great, and he couldn't speak another language. Why? I don't know, but he couldn't, because that's why. Makes perfect sense, right? And also, Isme Jessie is wrong in her geography. If you tell her where the United States is, she'll point to China. And if you tell her where Lehi left from Jerusalem, she'd point to Egypt or some stupid desert. She doesn't know her geography. She likely hasn't even read the Book of Mormon. And then another big question that she has to ask, and it is a huge question. Where are the sheep in America? Now, I don't know if she stepped outside or she just doesn't live in America. But we have these amazing animals, and they're called sheep. But not just any sheep. They have big horns, and they look like Satan. And same with goats. We have they're called the mountain goat. They look cool, very interesting. I'd recommend you look up a picture of the mountain goat. Big white things, and we get milk from llamas and alpacas because everyone likes llamas and alpacas. And we have cows. I don't know if you know that, but cows, yeah. We do. And they're not called cows to us. We call them bison and buffalo, but they're still cows. And about cattle, and talk about that later. And about the pigs. Pigs are useful. They're useful in medieval Europe. Crazy useful. Their fat was very useful. And their meat was very useful. And their hide was very useful. All those were very useful. And also the people that I mentioned eating the pigs are the Jaredites. And we all know that Jared says, screw law of Moses. That hasn't even happened yet. So he does not care. Ooh. He says, I don't care. I do not care. Ooh. And that's why. So he doesn't care. Interesting. Also, according to genetics, this might be a bit racist, what I'm about to say. According to genetics, the Native Americans are so Asian. See, they can't see. They're just so Asian. Oh, look, my eyes are so Asian. I can't see. I just can't see. Oh, I don't know. I can't see anything. Oh, God, yeah, this joke's dead.
What are you doing?
Making a video! Yes. And it's about how I'm so Asian. I need to make this video because it's autistic. So, yeah. Do. And also, they made a cool temple. And they called it a cool temple. And it had a similar workmanship to Solomon's temple. Very interesting. And in 1830, Joseph Smith edited the Book of Mormon so that the Lamanites would not be white and delightsome, and they'd be pure and delightsome. In 1830. Very interesting change that totally wasn't done in 1981. Also, we all know that the only type of armor is metal. There's no such thing as gambesons, because that was a 13th century word. But there were such thing as thick clothing, multiple layers of linen or cotton, being used as armor around the body. And in fact, the Book of Mormon mentions these. What? It says thick clothing. And as says, hey, guess what they used the clothing? And that's why. Because they did. Wow. And also, the Book of Mormon is complicated because it says it is. And the Book of Mormon has large populations, and we know that because archaeology in the modern day has revealed that there were big cities in certain parts of America that could hold populations of up to 1 million. 1 million. That's a big population. But regardless of this, the Book of Mormon is still a cool book. Because that is why. And end video. Because this video is taking too long.